How's it going, everyone? We are here in the LL Bean Center tonight for a big matchup of Jason versus Russell. DraftKings quarterbacks. Who's going to win tonight?
I think LL Bean's the big winner.
LL Bean Center, yeah. It's a new structure, just built within the last 5 minutes. Holds two people, three, if you really want to force it, but there are weight limits, but if you're two smaller guys, you can probably have one other person sitting there, but they can't have any of the food.
That makes sense. I think if your sweatshirt's LL Bean for those who haven't seen.
This is a really bad hosting job, and I don't care. I'm sorry, everyone, but how they say sorry, not sorry. Well, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm just, I don't care. Cash game quarterbacks. Drew Brees, 7,600 against the Lions at home. Loves not throwing to Brandon Cooks. Loves Willie Snead. Hates Kobe Fleener. Loves Michael Thomas. Loves dumping it off to Mark Ingram to piss me off. How about it, Jason?
I think this week is going to be pretty interesting to see what Cook's ownership is going to be with Brees. And obviously Kobe Fleener too. I mean, because, playing tight ends against the Lions has been a thing. But, there's a lot of volatility in terms of who Brees is throwing to. But there isn't volatility when Brees plays at home. This guy's averaging 30 DK points at home this season. This is just a great matchup on top of it. You look at the Lions, 38.3% DVOA against the pass, fifth most DK points allowed. You look at New Orleans, 75% of their touchdowns come through the air. And Brees has just been, he's consistent at home. He's expensive, but, certainly there's enough value at wideout to make it work this week, value at running back to pop him in there. And really, he's been above 25 DK points in 7 games this year and been below 20 in just 3. So, put this matchup on top of a home game for Brees. I don't think it gets any easier than that.
Put this matchup in your pipe and smoke it.
Do it. That's right. Yeah.
How aggressive is that statement? That's one of the most aggressive things you can say to somebody. Like, I know it's normally said in a joking tone, but chill.
Yeah, especially it's outdated. Who really has pipes anymore?
You know who says that? Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and Danny DeVito. They all definitely say that.
I can see that.
Russell Wilson, 6,300 against the Panthers. Are they a Panther? Are they a house cat? Are they an outdoor cat? I'd say they're more an outdoor cat this year than an actual Panther indoor. Like, they're not totally timid. Like, they'll go out and catch a mouse every once in a while, but overall,
they're a pretty soft outdoor cat. Like, they're not roaming beyond the fences of the backyard.
They'll go snag a mouse, or they'll accidentally step on like a beetle and kill it. But they're not going all out or something.
No, they're coming back into their water saucer.
Yeah. Like, they know where the bread is buttered.
Yeah,
per se.
They do. Yeah, they do. But Russell Wilson, I think obviously after last week, people are going to be off of him, and I don't blame you. But I'm not really letting one game kind of defer me away from him being at a great price and a great matchup. Before last week, was above 25 DK points in each of the last 3. Great matchup against Carolina. They've allowed over 20 DK points to opposing QBs this year. Vegas total still pretty healthy, nearing 26 at home. Still pretty cheap and has some cheap, stacking partners like Graham and like Baldwin again. I'm not really getting away from it. Should get pretty low ownership in tournaments and even in cash games. But if you want a little bit of a discount from Brees, it's about 1,300. That's a pretty severe drop down. So I don't mind Wilson. I think he's got a pretty good floor in this matchup. You shouldn't either.
What? You said stacks, and that reminded me of that breakfast cereal from back in the day, Smacks. You remember Smacks with the frog?
Oh, yes. It was almost it was close to Corn Pops, right? Like the actual cereal.
Yeah. Smacks, baby. Honey Smacks. Let's go. Oh, I have that subliminal messaging burned into my brain clearly.
I know the frog.
Nice job,
too.
Kellogg's. Huh?
I know the frog.
Yeah, the frog man with the hat, no
Yep.
doubt. GPP quarterbacks, Eli Manning against the Steelers. I think we're all kind of looking at this matchup in a, you know, GPP or cash sense. Obviously, you're probably looking at the Steelers in cash, but you at least want to get correlation on the Giants side of things. You're looking at Eli Manning though.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Big Ben's a solid play. Expensive. I like Brees over him this week, but Eli Manning, obviously, his home road splits have been pretty severe this season, averaging 7 less DK points on the road. Obviously, this game is in Pittsburgh, but one of the things I am going to look at here, and that's both teams ranking the top half in pace. Giants, particularly, they do move the ball quick, and the Steelers allow the seventh most pass attempts to opposing QBs. So I think Eli's obviously going to have a lot of chances to do some damage. Under 6K, I mean, 5,900 is a really nice price for a game that has the second highest total, on the board this week. So you look at this one. I mean, obviously Eli Manning has been home in 3 of his last 4 games, but 12 touchdowns in the last 4. The secondary is okay. It's starting to come around, but I think in terms of just the overall game flow, there's going to be a lot on both sides. And obviously, Eli Manning is that correlation play. You can use Brown, you can use OBJ, you can use Bell, and not pay up at a quarterback spot and use 5,900 Eli Manning here. So, Giants have been rolling. I think this game is going to be fun for DFS purposes. Going to be a fun one to watch. And really, I mean, quite a value here with Eli.
Yeah, I like that call quite a bit. Going to be someone I'm at least, thinking about in tournaments. Colin Kaepernick against this Bears defense. I think this is where we veer off the beaten path, and I take you. I tell you we're going on. Oh, let's go on vacation, and then I take you out to the woods and slaughter you with my grizzly bear. So, what do you got on Colin Kaepernick?
Well, I mean, obviously, I think Chicago's defense is a little bit banged up for me to really shy
Chicago's
away.
defense. Chicago.
Kaepernick, I mean, averaging 6.1 DK points just solely off of rushing yards per game so far this season. He has that rushing upside, nearly 2 touchdowns per game this season. They are a banged up defense, and the team total's low, but it was low last week against Miami. 320 plus DK point games in the last 4. Chicago's allowing the 11th most rushing yards to opposing QBs. Kaepernick's kind of climbed up into a salary where, okay, he's out of the value section now. He's into a GPP section because, over a small sample size of what we've seen lately, he's been rather consistent. But we know this offense, can fall flat, especially in another road matchup. I mean, obviously, I'm not willing to bank on it 100%, but I think Kaepernick, obviously, we saw the upside last week, and we can certainly see that again.
Absolutely. Though you're wrong, that's fine. It's
Yep, you
okay to
already
be
said it. You already said absolutely. I changed your mind.
Yeah, he's wrong. That's fine if you're wrong. I'm just saying, it's okay. Tyrod Taylor, I like this play. 5,700 against the Raiders. Sammy Watkins back. I mean, this is going to be a vintage Virginia Tech Tyrod Taylor game, I think.
I'm excited for this one. I mean, we're looking at this one a top 3 total this week. It's on par with the Giants and Steelers, on par with the Saints and Lions. So, it's got a reasonable total to really fire away with. And Oakland allows a ton of big plays. Sammy Watkins is a big play threat. I mean, he had 80 yards on just 3 catches last week. The snaps are expected to take a tick upwards, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him playing 60-70% of the team snaps. A good rushing yard floor for him, about 5 DK points per game with the room for touchdown, just solely on the ground, 4 rushing touchdowns in the last 5 games. And this Oakland defense, I mean, allowing 20.6 DK points per game, a lot of big plays. I think there's really a potential for a big time shootout, much like we saw last week with Cam Newton. And Tyrod Taylor doesn't turn the ball over, so he's been fairly consistent in that department. Good team total here to target on the road. I don't know if he'll quite get the ownership on him that I was expecting maybe at the earlier, yesterday and Sunday, but I think it's going to be fairly low.
Huh. So, doing some research here, Jarrett Boykin was Tyrod Taylor's leading receiver in his junior and senior season at Virginia Tech. Do you think that's going to play into this weekend's game?
No, probably not.
All right. I just throw out the stats. You decide if you want to use them. That's all I'm saying. As far as other quarterbacks on the slate, are these Is there anyone else you want to throw in there, or is this basically your roster construction for this week? Obviously
This
Ben
is
Roethlisberger, but
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, Matthew Stafford's pretty damn expensive on this slate. I mean, if he was in a 6K range, 6,500, I'd be okay with it. I just think he's a little too expensive for me, and maybe that pushes him in. I think others are going to feel similarly. I mean, it's still a GPP shot because obviously Golden Tate's not expensive. Marvin Jones isn't expensive. So it's not a bad stack. But overall, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me.
fair enough. All right. As always, thanks for tuning in, guys. Give us a like and subscribe if you like what we're doing. If you like my Boardwalk Empire posters or you like Jason's hat, throw us a comment in the comment section. Or if you just have a thought on the slate, let us know. As always, if you want to check out this article, head over to dailyfantasycafe.com and, read it, enjoy it, drink it in. And, that's all I really have to say. B- outro today. So week 13, we will see you guys next week in week 14. Thanks for tuning in. Later.